Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique War Game Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos? What are they all about? Well, a Let's Build video, I take a model kit and I'll show you how to put it together. If there's any points of concern on the sprue, as in there's chains and pipes and stuff like that, you have to be careful snipping and cleaning. I'll give you guys a heads up. If there's anything on the sprue that's numbered differently to the instructions, it's a visual way to give you guys a heads up and you can know what you're looking for then. If you're interested in models in a certain army that you don't have, or an army you're thinking of getting, or an army you do have but you're not sure how difficult it is to build, this is a visual way to help you guys out. If you suffer dyslexia or just struggle with instructions in general, again, this is just to help you out. The aim of these Let's Builds is just to make each model accessible to everyone, no matter your age or skill level. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. See you in a second. Right, as you would have seen from the thumbnail, I'm going to be building a Wraithlord, an Aeldari Wraithlord. So, as usual, what we're going to do, everyone that's new, we'll go through tools needed as always. So we have clippers, most useful part of a kit. You can have mold line scraper. Now you can use a hobby knife or a surgical blade type tool. If you're using a sharp tool, just be careful because it is sharp, and let anyone in the house know you're using it so nobody scares you by accident. Make sure cats are not around or little hands are not around. And we have my favourite piece of kit, which is sanding sponge. You get sanding sponge or sanding block. Basically, sanding sponge and block is foam with sandpaper beside, but the sponge is more flexible and the block is quite solid. You get that in a hardware shop somewhere near the sandpaper or the wallpaper, somewhere in between. It's usually quite cheap and quite handy to get hold of. So what we do now, guys, for everyone that's new, seeing this for the first time, we actually now look at the sprue and ascertain what's what to make our job a lot easier when building it. Okay. So straight away, these are body parts. I don't know what the hell these are, but they're there. These are arms. There's these little wraith bone things that go on the back on his back. Not wraith bone things, they're dorsal fins or something like that. Legs. Little feet with little tutus on the end. There's more bits for the actual build of the body. I think that's, it looks like his head there. There's hands, because there's different types of hands. That one looks like it has a gun handle in it. It's because he can actually have a big weapon in his hand. These are different guns he can have. There's two shrunken catapults and 2 flamers. He's got a big tasty blade he can have. That's a bit for the gun, I think. So a few random pieces I'm not sure of. These are the big cannons. Sorry, more big guns. There's a bright lance that looks like a shrunken cannon. Looks like a scatter laser, a Aeldari missile launcher, and there's a star cannon. And there's some sprues so big, and there's some bits and pieces, banners and tabards hang off the front of him. To be honest with you, when I first saw this, thought about putting this model together, I thought it was going to be very difficult. But looking at all this, it is actually pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish getting set up and then come back to you guys for the... Oh, sorry, one last thing I forgot. It's a plastic kit, so plastic glue. I do have super glue to hand just in case, but I'm probably not going to need it. So I'm going to finish getting set up and I'm going to come back to you guys for the first pieces. Actually, no, I'm not. Yes, I am actually, sorry, yeah. Now the first thing I'm going to do, he actually comes equipped with 2 shrunken catapults and Wraithlord fists. Okay, so these 2 bad boys here. You can swap this shrunken catapults for two Aeldari flamers, which are quite nice anyway. shrunken up or something about. You can have up to 2 heavy weapons. You can give them the sword. So you can have 2 heavy weapons, the shrunken and the sword. You can have an arsenal of weapons here. Now, one thing I've noticed, the instructions doesn't have any numbers. It's just a picture of it. There's no numbers, which is like, okay, that's a bit bonkers, but okay. So the first piece we need is this round cylinder piece here, and this piece down here. So I'm going to snip them both off, clean them down. I'll show you how they go together. Right, I realised I made a boo-boo here. I told you to take this piece off. Okay, that's not the piece you need to take off. It's this piece. It's very similar. Okay, this piece actually goes over the top. Okay, so this is the piece that you need. And the reason you know there's 2 little bits there. And this piece has a lovely soldier on the front. Or 2 of them, should I say. So this piece, I'm going to clean this, I'll show you how they go together, and then I'll clean that piece as well and show you, because that connects that's the next piece that connects on. Right. So after that little mess up myself, that's where there's no numbers. This piece, I realised, don't worry about mould lines. There's a dirty mould line on top, but don't worry about that, because this goes in the middle, and this is used to pin the arms onto, I think. Now there's a little bar in the middle there, and in the middle of this piece there's a little bar in the back. You see I put glue in there already. That just sits in there like so. Okay, I haven't cleaned this piece down yet, but this piece just sits over the top. So you see where that little semicircle is. You see the semicircles on there. It just lines up. The shoulder blades bit line up with each other. So I'm going to clean this down, glue this onto this, and then we'll come back for the next piece. Right, so the next piece needed is this bad boy. This is what it looks like on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to snip it, clean it. I'll show you how it goes on. I forgot to say, there's a little ball on top there. You keep that on there, okay? Just snip it. Yeah. So you keep the ball on there. Right, so it's very straightforward. There's 2 pins, 2 holes. They just slots in there like so, with the little balls on sitting up on top. Okay, so the next piece needed is, where are you? This piece here. Okay, this is the next piece needed. And don't get confused with this piece. This is the next piece we need. It's got a big round curve shape at the top there. I'm going to snip it, clean it. I'll show you how it goes on. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm really enjoying this build. It's so simple. When you look at the sprue, you go, oh my goodness me, but it's so simple. This is the piece that we need. Okay, this piece here, this funny bits of shavings, just slots in the top here, like so. It goes in like that. Okay, it looks a bit weird at the moment, but there is a reason for that, because it will all start to tie together. So the next pieces we need are the 2 dorsal fins. Now, I presume they look the same both sides. Yep. I'm going to snip these off, clean these down, but there's no numbers to tell me what one goes what side. So I'm presuming they're universal. Okay, obviously the big piece goes at the top, and then the smaller piece to the bottom. But I cut them off, clean them down, and we'll have a look. So I've dry fitted both of these in. They are universal. So basically, a little triangular piece that slots in there, like so. This one goes in the other side. Now that looks absolutely amazing. I think I'll have to hold it in a bit because it's coming a bit loose, but I know it's fine. It looks absolutely fantastic. Right, so the next piece needed is this crazy looking piece here. Okay, so we've taken all the bits from here. That's where that piece is. It's like a weird T shape. Okay, and the legs. So I'm going to snip those 3 pieces off, clean them down. I'll show you how they go together. Right, I forgot to say, this little pin at the top has to stay. Now basically, this is the bit that I'm not looking forward to. This is very simple, but the next part is, yeah. So these bits go into here, okay? There's a hole, there's a hole one side, it's flat the other side, it just slots in. One leg one side, one leg the other side. The reason I'm not looking forward to this bit now is because the feet then go into there and it goes onto the base. So because of the joys of plastic glue, when I put it together, it's not quite right. I've still got time to manoeuvre it and adjust it to the way that I want it to go on the base. And I want to say, I didn't say this at the beginning, look how detailed that base is. So much stuff on it, it's actually brilliant. I like that. Anyway, I'm going to glue those two bits together and come back for the feet. Right, so for the feet, here are the feet. Now it's telling me if one of these goes on this side of the foot, and either one of these two go on this side of the foot. No, is that all right? Something like that. But what I'm looking at in the instructions is the big toe part goes on the inside of the leg. Yeah, so when the foot goes on, that should be the inside part of the leg. Well, look at that one. So that'd be one foot, right foot. That'd be his left foot. That'd be his right foot and his left foot. So they look fine, but these two look weird because they're the wrong way around. I don't know if that was intentional or I don't know. But it's telling me one of these and one of these. But by the looks of it, I don't think you can use either one. I'm going to go with these two here because they're flat on the ground. They're, flat. This one has a little curve in it. So does that one. Yeah, so I'm going to go with these two flat ones. I'm going to snip off, clean them down. I'm going to show you how they go on. Right, so I've put a bit of glue on the foot and that little ball joint, and that just slots in there like so. Very, very straightforward. So I'm going to glue the other one, I'm going to glue it to the base, and then I'll come back to you for the next pieces. Right, so the next two pieces we need are these two pieces. They're just below the tabards and all that. I'm going to snip off, clean them down. I'm going to show you how one of them goes on. I'll show you how both go on. It's both so straightforward. Right, so basically, these guys, this is the bottom of it. Okay, so it goes on like that. There's a hole, and there's a little pin on top of his leg, so it just sits on there like so. Okay, one each or either side. So I'm going to glue them into place and then come back for the next piece. Right, so this piece, the first piece we worked on, there is a hole in the middle there, and that is what that little pin sits onto. So it just sits on there like so. So I'm going to glue that into place and then come back to you for the next piece. Right, so now we're on to the arms. So there's 4 arms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, again, there's no numbers here, but it's very straightforward because, hold on a second, let me just see one. Okay, this arm here is for this side of his body. Let me move him over so you can see him. This is for this side of his body. This arm here is also for that side, and the other two are for the other side. Now, the same way that the legs went on is the same way that they go on. There's a little pin in there. That's that roll we put in there first of all. That's what they pin into. So it's very straightforward. You can't mess it up. It's very straightforward. So I'm going to take 2 of them off, one for each side, and glue them on. And then I'm going to come back to you for the next piece. Right, so now you have a few options here. You can even take this little shield piece, or you've got this long rope here. I'm probably going to go with this long rope here just because I like robes, and you got all them regulars here know the way that I paint up robes and dry brush robes and everything else. But basically, at the front here, just in a little V shape, there's a pin, and that's where it sits onto, the shield bit. It's telling me that the robes sit in the same place, but we'll see. Now, one thing I would say about this, it's still very movable because the glue hasn't finished setting yet. So when you're building yours, you might want to do the legs, put the body in, and then just wait for that to dry, and then put the arms on, or put the arms on, get to the stage I have, and then just wait for it to dry. Because this is going to be the sword on this side, and he's going to have a fist this side, so it's not, you know, it's not going to impede anything. But I should have actually put the sword onto the hand first of all, glued that separately, and then put the arm in. But you know, I'm so excited, and I'm very pleased with how easy this guy's to build, considering this is the sprue. I mean, I can't even get it on camera, it's that big, and I was like, oh my goodness me, where do I start? As most of you would do when you're putting something like this for the first time. So anyway, I'm going to take the robes off, clip them down, I'm going to glue them into place, and then I'm going to come back to you for the next piece then. Right, so the next two pieces are this piece and this piece. Okay, I'm going to slip them down, they're right next to the hands. I'm going to slip them down, clean them down, show you how they go together. Right, so we have this lovely side, we have the flat side. The flat side is this inside there, so I've put a bit of glue in there, slots in like this. And it also gives you that funny little square shape there, which is going to be for the next piece. So the next piece we need is, where are you? I saw you a minute ago. This piece here. Okay. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, and show you how it goes on. Right, so this dorsal fin, I don't know why I keep calling it dorsal fin. This piece, this is the little bit that we want, the little square. That goes into that little square. Just slots in, like so. Now this amazing, it always reminds me of an alien, a xenomorph head from Alien. Anyway, next thing we need, now you need to decide whether he's going to have a hand or carry the gun, because he can carry one of the heavy weapons, or you're going to give him the blade. I'm giving him the blade because I just think that's cool. Now check the rules. He can have the blade. I said this at the beginning. He has two shrunken catapults. You can change them for the two Aeldari flamers, which is only a 12-inch range, but they're also hitting. I'd rather hit them with these 24-inch range assault weapons. Here's the blade. You can upgrade from the fists to the blade, and you can have two heavy weapons, which is bonkers. So I'm going to cut this off, clean it down. It's an amazing piece of sculpture. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off, clean it down, and I'll show you how it goes on. Just only show you, it just slots in flat to flat. I'm going to glue it on, and then we'll come back for the next piece. But this is why I said maybe I should have done this, glued this onto the arm first and then glued the arm on. But we'll see if it's okay or not. Right, I've got the sword on. Looks pretty good. It looks pretty awesome. I made a mistake here though. When I put the cloth on, the cloth is the robes on the front of him. Sorry, is the optional piece. This is the piece that goes on over the top. Okay, so I'm going to snip it off, clean it down. Oh, you idiot! I've already shown you how it goes on. The little hole and the little pin. So I'm going to clean it down and glue that on, put that on, and then I'll come back to you for the next piece. Right, time for the other hand. So you've got a choice of two hands. This fist, which is excuse me, is pretty cool, or the hand that's open. Now both of them have the thumb up at the top. Okay, because that's that hand. That's the hand that's missing. I'm going to go for the fist because I think that looks absolutely so cool. So I'm going to snip that off, clean it down. It glues straight on the same way that the sword does. So just go straight on, and then I'm going to come back to you for the next pieces. Right, the head goes on now. So as you guessed it, there's a hole there, and there's a pin there. So, and these little ridges should line up with those ridges there. So I'm going to glue that into place. It looks something like that. Absolutely fantastic. Glue it into place, then come back for the next pieces. Now we're on to the cool parts. I'm just arming him up. Wow. Right, so these are the two pieces that we need first of all. Okay. I'm going to snip those and clean those and show you how they go on. But the other thing you need to do is decide what heavy weapon he's going to have. He can have up to two of them. So I'm always going to go with Star Lance. Star Lance, is that what it's called? That's basically a las cannon. This one seems pretty good, the shrunken cannon. Scatter laser is good for killing infantry, light infantry. You got the Aeldari missile launcher, which is good for frag and crack missiles. And you've got the D cannon, I think this is called. Again, this is definitely a star lance, but I don't know about the rest of it. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm probably going to go with the shrunken catapult. The shrunken cannon, sorry. I don't know, should I? Yeah, I'm going to stick with my initial. I'm going to go with these two, because this is such a cool model, very easy to build, so I will be getting more of these guys. So I'm going to snip these two off, two weapons, snip these two pieces off. I'm going to glue them all down. I'm going to show you how these go onto the model and how the weapons go onto it. Right, so these lovely little pieces, they have a hole on the inside, yeah, underneath, and they have a slot on top. They have one soul gem on the side. Now, from what I can see in the instructions, again, there's no numbers to tell me anything. I would think, so look how this one goes. Yeah, the soul gem, the best way is to have it on the outside. So the way it works is, the little hole glues on the ball at the top, like so. So I'm going to glue them into place and then come back and show you how the guns glue on. Right, so each one of these heavy weapons has a little rectangular slot there, and the way it works is it just slots into the slot on top where we just put the weapon on. Now you might have to glue it and hold it, because it, you know, it might want to just keep trying to tip forward. But I'm going to glue both of those into place on either side. Now you can, because this is on a ball joint, you can pivot it slightly if you want to try and weight it so it's not going to keep trying to fall forward. Or that way, sorry. So it's gonna, so you're weighting it backwards, so it's not going to keep going down back there. I'm going to glue it into place and we'll come back for the next piece. Right, we're almost done this guy. Absolutely such an amazing build. Anyway, now it's time for the shrunken catapults. Now you can, I don't think you can swap one shrunken for one flamer and have one of each. I think it's two shrunkens or two flamers. Okay, again, there is a little rectangular piece at the top. Okay, and that's how, yes, there. That's how it slots in, and where it slots in. Now you can put them on the top. Okay, you can put them on the top like where these guns go, or they go in the side of the arms there. Now if you're putting them on top, the other piece, then you need another piece, which is these two pieces. And these two pieces, you see there's a little rectangular piece there, they slot into the arms. Okay, so if you're putting the little pistols on top, they go in, these little blade things go in the arms just to hide that little space. But I'm going to put the shrunkens into the arm, and this is the other piece I'm going to snip off. This goes in the base somewhere. It's optional again, doesn't have to go on the base, but I'm going to snip it off and glue it to the base because I think it looks very cool, and it'll break the base up a little bit more as well. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, glue those on, and then come back to you for another optional piece. Right, so he's basically done. There is an additional optional piece, which is one of these. I thought these were together, but they're not. They're single robes. Okay, and they would hang down from the top here. The model would hang down. I'm not going to bother with those. I think this model is absolutely cool as, oh my, it's fantastic. I'd give this guy a difficult rating of probably 3.5. I'd tell you why. The reason why is there's a lot of stuff on the sprue when you first look at it. Okay, and even though I've glued it together, gone to the next piece, glue it together and all that, it's really one of those models you should glue and leave, with the exception of the legs and the feet and onto the base. Now with that said, for me, I think I've glued the legs too close. I think they should be spread out a little bit more, but it's not noticeable. It still looks fantastic. But apart from that part having to be glued together and put down, I think the rest of it should be glued and left for an hour or so, then come back and glued to the next piece and left. It's one of those type of things. You don't have to. I didn't. I just carried on. The other thing is, there is some sections of it that have some really dirty mold lines. You know, really horrible mold lines. I'm going to bring them up and show you now. So on the star lance there, there's one straight through the middle there. I've only just seen it when I glued it on there. Now, there's no panic, because once this is fully cured, it becomes one piece of plastic. Come back through some of this, give it a gentle sand down, or come through with your hobby knife and just give it again a gentle gentle scrape down. Now, before I spray models down, undercut models anyway, I always give them once over, and if there's any bits that I've missed, give them a best sanding sponge and get rid of it. So that's why I'd give this guy Diff in 3.5, just because there's a lot on the sprue, and you should re-glue and wait, and because there's a few mold lines here and there that are horrible. The sword had a few horrible ones on it. The legs were literally horrible mold lines. Basically any of the flat surfaces had horrible mold lines. And those flat surfaces is not exactly a flat surface on a gun, but it's sort of just, that's how I missed it. Anyway, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video with more and more people, and makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. And this guy will be in the vote. You'll probably be seeing this video on the Thursday, I'd imagine, but I will probably put him in the vote for Wednesday. So guys, hit the buttons for me. Any comments or anything to do with this model, chuck them below. Until next time guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy.